Today, I have in one of my all time favorite collaborations between two brands I am a huge fan of, both from Singapore. Vario watches and RZE have come together to release a watch that is by Vario, the Trench, but using RZE's Ultrahex Titanium. I have in the Damascus version, the Damascus dial version of the watch, and it is excellent. Big thanks to the folks over at Vario and RZE for giving me the opportunity to get some time with the watch. So let's get to it and check it out. All right. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I work with Vario and a few other brands where we do monthly meetups so you can see their watches in person and just have a good time chatting watches with everyone. If you are in the area, Ontario or Quebec, and want to come, let me know and I'll get you on the list for those. But the watch is a collaboration that makes perfect sense. The brands offer quite different watches in terms of design. RZE is a little more on the modern side, where Vario offers usually more traditional, often vintagey style watches. The people behind the brands are amazing, and combining Vario's style with modern materials that RZE uses is just a great idea. The watch is available in three unique dial options. There's the Damascus I have here, which is a layered titanium similar to Damascus steel. There's the loomed forged carbon fiber dial, which is really cool too. And lastly, they have the RZE signature enamel medallion yellow. Sorry for all the reflections here, but before we fully get into the watch, I have to say the matte finish case gives a totally different vibe than the original Trench watches like this on the right, with the polished and brushed surfaces. Gives it a toolier and at the same time a more modern feel, I find. The watches, by the way, come out in this RZE branded box. Here is actually the outer box from the Japanese company Toyo Steel Co. Inside it is, just pop it open here, co-branded there with RZE and Vario. So pretty cool packaging for the watch. This is my first experience with a Damascus dial, and I love the color. It goes from a brown to almost a gold shimmer and then nearly black, depending on the lighting. Very dynamic dial in that way. Up at the 12 is Vario printed in white, and you might not notice at first, but it's branded with the RZE logo in the small second subdial in white, which is also loomed. The loom is really good here on the watch. Good application of BGW9. Everything is nice and bright, and the loom is even across the logo, the markers, and hands. The RZE logo also makes a second appearance on the crown, so lots of loom happening here, which is great. The vintagey cathedral hands, along with the numerals, give it a good blend of vintage style alongside the modern dial and case materials. The hands combined with the large hour markers make this about as legible as it gets. Very cool dial layout overall, and I like the contrast of the sunken white small second subdial against the Damascus. The case is titanium with RZE's Ultrahex coating that gives it a hardness up to 1200 Vickers. Wouldn't quite call it scratch proof, but it is pretty close. The entire case is bead blasted. The screw down case back has an image of the flag of Singapore, and under the hood is the Miyota 82S5. It is a 21 joule movement beating at 21,600 vibrations per hour with a power reserve of approximately 40 hours. The crown is a screw down crown. Very easy to grip to wind and set the time, and the winding action feels pretty good. The strap this comes on is a perfect match. It's nearly the exact same color as the dial. It's a crazy horse leather bund, and the bund works great with this style of watch. Good quality leather, comfortable on wrist, and a cool look overall for the watch. Size on the watch comes in at a case width of 37.1 millimeters. The lug to lug is 43.4 millimeters. Lug opening is 18 millimeters, and the thickness is 12.6 millimeters, including the AR treated double domed sapphire. With the bund, it's about 15 millimeters. Water resistance is 100 meters. And here it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. And yeah, how awesome is this? They nailed it with this release, I think. Great duo of brands to come together to create something cool. The watches, by the way, are limited to 100 pieces per dial color, and the price is $4.99 USD for this, and the carbon dial $4.39 for the medallion yellow. Not sure how long these will last, but link to where you can find these and pick one up will be below. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.